serious. At what age did you learn about your family's hidden secret? And what was it? I was 10. And I was part of the secret. One day in the fall of 1984, the people I thought were my parents told me the truth, that they were my grandparents, and that my sister was my mom. She had been 16 when she had me. The circumstances were bad, and Grandma decided to take matters into her own hands. She claimed that I was confused and called her mom, and they just let me. But I found out that was a lie as well. She also got everyone to go along with it. Other family, teachers, whoever. They all went along with the story. I learned at age 16 that my grandfather was secretly gay. He had a wife his entire life. He used to take his entire family to gay clubs for Christmas evenings. It never rang a bell for most. He also had a history of cheating with other women, but he probably did with other men too. He just hid it so well in the later years, but you could see it when he was a young adult. The way he took a picture, his posture, everything just used to scream gay. But he never said it to literally anyone and took his secret to the grave. I was about 10 years old when I found out the secret that my parents or family had in general, which was that my parents adopted me for extra money. Statement stating the fact that my check hit, and when I contacted the bank about it, they have stated to me that they have claimed they gave me my money, and my parents literally owed me about $10,000. I've posted this on Reddit before, but I grew up in poverty. When I was about 19, I found out my family was bizarrely wealthy, and just never told me or my siblings for a variety of reasons. I had no idea. I'd always been told we couldn't afford anything, and I had no reason not to believe my folks. I found out from my mom's childhood friend, whom I'd spoken to maybe twice. I don't think my parents ever intended for me to find out, and they went to incredible lengths to hide it. When I was around 15, I learned that the reason I hadn't seen my uncle since I was 6 was because he was in prison in Iran for drugs. I had no idea, and I thought he was just living his ordinary life. But yeah, probably not the most shocking story on here, but it did blow my mind as I had never thought of that. At 18, I also learned that my other uncle had lost his job not because of medical issues, which is what I thought, but because he had been caught high at work. Weed. I learned it because I witnessed it, but the other family didn't know. My dad was a pedophile, did things to my sister and God knows who else. My dad was my mama's pimp, and that's why I was born. My mama was a heroin addict, which eventually led to her suicide. Well, for almost 30 years now, could never make a pot of beans as good as my grandma. Come to find out, she puts a little chunk of potato in the bottom of the pot. Never told me, and laughed up her sleeve every time I'd ask what I was doing wrong. When I was 12-ish, the whole family found out my grandma had had a child out of wedlock in the 50s that she had been forced to put up for adoption. We found out because he found us. It was an interesting time. Both of my grandfathers took their own lives. This was slowly dripped down to me in veiled comments over years and years until I was a teenager. He died of a broken heart, stuff like that. My uncle was actually my cousin. He was kidnapped as an infant, and when he was returned a year later, my aunt didn't want him back. My grandparents adopted him, so he was legally my uncle. Got a birthday card on my 17th birthday from Christine. Asked my adoptive mum who Christine is. Oh, that's your sister, only living biological relative. Didn't know she existed, lol. My uncle had 2 wives and 2 complete and separate families in different cities and kept up the rows for years. It wasn't discovered until he died, I shit you not. Teenager. I overheard my mum, her sister, my aunt talking, and my aunt confided to my mum that my cousin was not fathered by my uncle has no idea. My grandfather was a counterfeiter and a prison guard, although not at the same time. Also, a large number of suicides. But my immediate family seem okay. Then God. A couple years ago, my oldest brother got a DNA test and found a half-sibling in my dad's home state that's about his age. That's all we know. I guess the secret was mental illness. Found out when I got adult onset bipolar with psychosis without any warning. At 62 I learned I was 5 years old before my parents got married. I was dumbfounded. My grandfather was in the Nazi party. I learned about it when I was about 30. At 15 years old, my sister and my mother were abused by family members. 52 dad donated sperm and I have at least 9 half siblings.